Daniel, you're not understanding the quote.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome.
How are ya?
Good. Do you understand the quote?
So what do you mean by the quote? Because like it says, a person is born of human; they don't just become one overnight.
Yes. Meaning you need to be born with personality, you need to be born with like a way to talk to people. This is a nature versus nurture argument. This has nothing to do with whether or not a fetus is alive or not. Does
Oh,
it?
okay, so okay. I know what. Yeah, okay, I know what you're going on about.
Okay. So let's say a person could be like a POS, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they are born to be a POS. They don't just become one overnight. It's that nature versus nurture argument.
No, it's exactly that. It's depends really. Actually, like so, it's not nature versus nurture. It. People can be just born and they're completely different. Like, okay, so I'll let's put it this way, right? And here's something to just go, oh, hey, someone's not just this overnight, right? It's nurture versus nature. No, it's not always. So my brother
Mm-hmm.
was actually classified a psychopath from a very young age.
Okay.
Very, very young age. And mind you, we all had a very similar upbringing.
Yep.
Two of my brothers, one got diagnosed later on in life, and then
Mm-hmm.
I got diagnosed later on in life after that. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is that so mine came from serving 18 months in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I did 14 months
Thank you,
service,
Mariam.
and then I ended up tearing my ACL. So I ended up being medically discharged.
Yep.
So I'm not one that's seen war or anything like that. But I
Yep.
also just want to say this is that so my brother got diagnosed as a psychopath when he was 4 years of age. He tried to
Mm-hmm.
light the next door neighbor's treehouse on fire with the kids in it.
Okay.
So that's what I mean
Wow.
is like so my brother, but from a very young age, would always like even from a very young age, he was always aggressive. Even from not a baby, but a toddler, they started noticing things in him which were different.
Yes.
The thing is my two older brothers, my other older brother, then yes, he got diagnosed because they're identical twins. Doesn't mean that he was going to have it or not, but he ended up getting
Mm-hmm.
diagnosed later on in life when he was 16, and I got diagnosed at 24.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I didn't get diagnosed as a psychopath. I got diagnosed with psychopathic tendencies, but that's because I'd been in training with the military and then also went into private security where I end up having to unalive some people, which end up happening, which then set my brain a little bit weird.
Yep.
But the thing is, it can be like it's nature versus nurture. Sometimes it is nature. Some people are just born like that. Some people, like my brother, like even the psychotherapists and all the psychiatrists, everyone even said
Mm-hmm.
he was fucking. There was no hope for him. There was something just wrong. And
Welcome,
but then
Alava.
could it be? But then could it also? Then this also brings the argument up. Could it also be nature from the womb? Because even when we're in the womb, we still hear everything. We still
Mm-hmm.
feel everything. We still
Yep.
feel all the hormones. My dad was an actual fucking piece of shit. Like, sorry to swear, but he was a
Wow.
POS. Like,
Yes.
he used to like hurt my mum and all this type of stuff. Like
Yeah.
and just tried to like if she was ever pregnant, he never wanted kids. So if you put the two and two together of why he hurt my mum is
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't want kids. The thing
Yes.
is that some people are a piece of shit. It can be nurture from the womb, and yes, there is studies into how kids react in the womb, but there is also some things that go, okay, well, hold up. Were they naturally already going to go from there, or was it nurture from the womb? Because it's very hard to tell because we're not watching
Hello.
what's actually happening in the room
Hello.
in the womb.
Good point, Daniel. For me, uh, now, as far as I know, I don't necessarily have. Yes, I do have anxiety and depression, but I don't necessarily have, you know, psychopathic tendencies.
Mm.
Although I can notice that sometimes my behaviors are similar to those that had raised me. For example, I'm a stubborn little bitch. I'm not going to lie. And that stubbornness it could be from either the way that I was brought up, or perhaps I could have developed such a mindset from the womb. Thank you for the follow. Art, what do you have to say about the quote? Okay, you can come up.
It's on mute.
That's okay. Ray, what do you think about the quote?
I think it's definitely a complicated, not simple answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like with what Daniel was saying, like with his brother, definitely has
Mm-hmm.
psychopathic tendencies, but then at the same time, a person that has psychopathic tendencies to, say, you, Vanessa, might be
Yep.
incredibly loyal and loving to a family member.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like environment plays a part as well.
Yes.
So just a quick one. My dad unalived himself before I was born. Like that's just the one thing. Like that's what happened. But the thing is like, was it nature from the first month that I was in the womb that eventually brought it out years later, or was it, oh no, what I've gone through, and then it was nature through that way? Was it was it nature that just ended up bringing it out, or was it nurture that, oh hey, listen, this is what you were trained to do. You were trained not to be this person. You were trained to be a robot. You were trained not to care. The thing is like, it's all this type of stuff that goes into it. It's sorry, and I do apologize. I thought you were going on about like I've just been in another debate, and I'm not joking. It was literally a very very similar quote. It goes, a person is born a human, and they don't just become. And it was like, you don't just become one when you're impregnated. And I was like, oh, is this what's going on again?
No.
Yeah,
Uh, I went to a different direction.
yeah,
This has nothing to do with whether a fetus or not is a human. It's more of like a personality wise kind of thing.
yeah.
Art, are you able to speak? Thank you, Rosalia.
So like with me, I have a background in grief counseling and
Mm-hmm.
like suicides and all of that.
Yes.
So I would forever argue the normal, so like what you'd read out of a book when you get trained, because for starters, no two people are the same. You know, like so one could have a chemical imbalance in their brain,
Yep.
or like a mental disability which may cause them to be that direction. One might be raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
One might have grown into it. One might just be fascinated by it and dabble and find out they enjoy it and continue further down that rabbit hole.
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer.
But
That's the Jeffrey
yeah,
Dahmer effect.
Yes.
yeah. And whereas like when you look at it from a book standpoint, when you're studying and learning, they try and make it a lot more clear cut when it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is based on their standards of what people should be like, based on different scenarios they've been through in life. I should be locked in a padded room.
100%.
You know, like when I
Liz, how you
was
doing?
17, I had two of my brothers murdered. When I was
Oh, I'm
25,
sorry.
I had my two children
I'm
died.
sorry to hear that.
3 years ago, I had my youngest brother murdered, plus like
Oh,
whole bunch of other shit. You know, like
I'm
growing up
sorry to hear that.
within gang family and stuff. But it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, I chose my path. I chose to break that cycle. I chose to, make my life better instead of succumbing to it, which, some people do, some people don't.
Yes. I'm very sorry for your losses. No parent should have to bury their child, and I'm very sorry for the unalivings of your brothers.
Yeah, it's hard, but I think like going through those experiences also makes you appreciate things more.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
like how fragile life actually is.
Yes.
And, you know, like the little things, you know, like how,
Mm-hmm.
like common courtesies and stuff. So I
100%.
think, like, yeah, it's hard. I still think about it sometimes. They still get
Mm-hmm.
me down majorly, but those bad experiences, as well as the good ones, made me who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Proud of you, Ray.
You
Proud of
know,
you for
like,
keeping
Proud
it
of
simple,
you.
bro.
Proud
it
of
all
you as
comes down
well.
to how you choose to react from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with that, if you put it that way, like I understand where you're coming from because my family is very, very similar to that. So both my brothers before they both passed, one was a nature thing because this is where I go, oh hey, like nature versus nurture. Like my brother had a really healthy life apart from the steroid use, but we all have the exact same degenerative effect of our hearts, all of
Yeah.
us. Mine just came after the COVID shot, but theirs came out like when it was like actually like years later. But my dad had it too.
Mm.
And this is the thing, right? Is that you turn around and you go, okay, is it nature versus nurture? Is it this?
Oh.
And because it's like I've read a lot of psychology books, and
Mm-hmm.
the grey area in them is that it's actually nuts. Like the grey area in psychology is there's too much grey area. That's why they have to put it in black and white because they go, this is what it is. So if he's got a chemical imbalance, he's either bipolar or if
Yeah.
he's hearing voices, he's
He's a
schizophrenic.
schizophrenic. Yep.
Yeah,
If he's always a temperamental and wants to hurt people, he's a psychopath.
Yep.
This. Well, when you look at a proper psychopath, if you actually want to look at the people that are like that actually have really high psychopathic tendencies,
Mm-hmm.
are actually car salesmen, your local real estate agents, salespeople, stuff like that, because they have to be cold hearted. And when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's actually people that are in the military actually have the least they have a very medium amount of people that end up leaving that as psychopaths. But the thing is like, do you go, oh, hey, is it nature because that's what they've been trained to do? But then why are so many of them, if it is nurture, sorry, not nature, if it's nurture,
Yep.
how do you turn around and go, oh, yeah, no, that's 100% that? Then everyone that leaves the military should end up like me and have that type of tendency.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, are they diagnosed with it? That's the other thing. Do they get diagnosed when they leave? Because when we do leave, we have to do a psychotherapy test when we leave
Yep.
to make sure that we're actually mentally all there still.
Yeah.
And the thing is when I left, I got discharged on medical ones when I tore my ACL. I wasn't the same after that. I got diagnosed um, 4.5 years later when I went in after I had gone to my psychologist, and I turned around to him and I said, "Listen, you're gonna have to probably call the cops today." And they went, "Why?" And I said, "I've been having these thoughts." And they rang them, and then I ended up in a mental ward, and because of that, they go, "Oh yeah, you're not a fit and proper person." But then, if you put it this way, I'm just going to bring this up, and I don't want to go into it too much. But then the thing is that I've tried to rejoin the military because I'll never hurt a woman. Never ever thought about hurting a
Yeah.
woman. I've never ever had that. It's when you put me in a room with a man,
Mm-hmm.
I can't handle it. I just can't handle it. One of us is leaving one of us is leaving that room. If you lock me in a room with them, one of us is leaving, and it's just because my nature's like that.
Yep.
But the thing is that it's just also because of what happened to me as a kid. And the thing is like when you go through all of this stuff, then all people in the military should all be what I am, or all people that go through a certain thing that go through certain things should be this. That's why the grey areas are so nuts, is because I've read psychology books, and when you look at it and you have what they actually what they call, so I've got what is APD, antisocial personality disorder,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is
Yes.
yeah, and
I I did psychology in uni,
yeah,
so I know a little bit.
yeah. So APD is it's a the umbrella term is psychopath. The umbrella term is psychopath. But the thing is when you look at what I have, my brother is a clinically diagnosed psychopath, not psychopathic tendencies, full psychopath. Other brother developed psychopathic tendencies, went into a psychopath. Me, psychopathic tendencies, not a psychopath, but I have APD. And the thing is because I'm actually a caring, what they call is, that's why they say psychopathic tendencies, is because there's a switch in you that can go, you go through something as a person, it doesn't matter man, female,
Yeah.
anything, what like transgender, anything. You go through something, it doesn't matter what it is, and this is what I just want to say, you go through a traumatic experience at some point in your life, no matter what it is. But some people just go through different types of trauma that are more severe or less severe, but to them, it's the exact same severity. It's the exact same severity across the thing, because it depends on how the human mind breaks. Mine broke after I lost my best mate, after I lost my last best mate from the military.
Yep.
That's when mine broke and I went, nah, I can't handle this anymore. And the thing is like when that all happened, I was the victim, mind you, when I just say this. I had gone through DV with 4 different partners. I had multiple issues with family. Mum's a drug addict. Dad offed himself.
Yep.
Both my brothers gangsters. All my family are either Croatian police or Croatian military or Croatian gangsters.
Okay, so you're Croatian.
Yeah, so background's Croatian.
Yep, my background's Macedonian, so
It's not far.
Balkan, Balkan siblings, yeah.
Yeah, so my mother's Croatian, Black South African, my father's Aboriginal Māori.
Okay.
And the thing is, right, when you go through something, and Joey Diaz says it the best, and even though he's like a comedian and stuff like that, he came home on a night out, he came home off his guts on acid, and he'd found his mother unalived.
No.
But he says this the best. He goes, he puts it as a young man, because this is exactly what happens with most men at points. We go through a very traumatic experience at some point. It could be a divorce, it could be losing someone, it could be stubbing your toe at 5 years of age, and it holds you back a couple of years, no matter what it is. It stunts you. It really does stunt you. It emotionally and mentally stunts you, and you never recover from it for years. And you finally come out of it, and you finally start to come out of it, and you know when
Wahash, how you doing?
Say that again?
Oh, I was talking to Wahash. How you doing?
Good.
Good, okay. Sorry, Daniel, continue.
And so it stunts you for a couple of years, and then eventually you come out of it. So when I came out of it was last year, November. I can even tell you exactly when I came out of that stunting. It was last year, November, when I started my own business, got my own business off the ground. Even though I had already had a charity, I had already done a charity a year before that. The thing is that never got me out of what I needed. So when I got myself a business, I got myself a girl, mind you, me and her have broken up.
Yep.
All of that type of stuff, you know exactly from when that fuck out of it's like a shortage in your brain, like it's like a electrical circuit shortage. You know exactly when that's fixed. You know exactly when that stops shorting, and you know exactly when you can fix it. And that's the thing is, like, I don't know if Ray can agree with this or not, but the thing is you know when it stops you. If you get multiple setbacks, it'll stop you again. But you'll always feel this one little thing that you go, oh, you know what? I'm better now. Let's keep on going. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. But yeah.
I agree with that.
Welcome. Would you like to jump in the box? Wahash, what do you think about the quote? Wahash, you're muted. Sorry, I had to mute you because Daniel was talking. I'm okay, Caitlin. I'm okay. Hi, Jay. Hi, everyone. So I'd like to. What we have here is a quote that. So the discussion is about if a person is born humane. They don't just become one overnight. I'd like to clarify that this is not a fetal argument. This is a personality kind of topic in which nature versus nurture comes to play. So, who would like to jump into the box and have a discussion?
So can I get your thoughts on it, Vanessa, while we sort of wait? Just sort of while we Lenore's jumping in.
Okay. Yep. Would you like to jump in, Lenore? Not really?
Sup,
Okay.
MJ?
All right, you can
Sorry,
come
I'm
into the box as well.
yeah, Ray.
Hey.
Be good.
Hi, everybody. So
Hello.
I believe this statement is very true. I believe that a majority of humans are a product of their environment. Not everybody becomes a product of their environment, but you look at let's just say not putting any like stigmas or not downing anybody who lives in housing commission, but like a lot of people who have come from housing commission go to live in housing commission. I'm just saying it's just you become a product of your environment. A lot of people escape that kind of escape it. I'm not just saying everybody, I'm saying a percentage of people. Like I do believe that you are a product of your environment.
100%. I think, but I also
And-
think. Yeah, you go. No, you go.
No, and also I think as we're a child, what does a product? Nah, bro, you don't reckon? Okay, well that's my thought anyway. I'm entitled to my opinion, and also like sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Then sorry, I've got family here in the background.
Oh, that's okay.
We are born with to learn things, right? So we all learn how to lie. We all learn how to be a good person. I think as if you're grown up not to have those have that instilled in you, like not lying, not stealing, telling the truth. And if you're not brought up with that instilled in your instilled in your upbringing, a lot of people don't hold that in their adult life.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know that's part of being a human is learning, is knowing the right from wrong?
100%.
That's my thoughts anyway. I'll just go on mute. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to come in here all guns blazing.
No. We actually, I like that. No, because that got me thinking. Because you know what? There's a great. It was actually a psychologist. It was a psychologist that came up with it, and basically it was the nature versus nurture type of argument. And it's about the alcoholic father, and the father's an alcoholic, and then what happens is both sons go, oh, you know what? Like, oh, one becomes an alcoholic, one doesn't become an alcoholic, one becomes a successful businessman, one ends up staying in housing, like in same as his dad as an alcoholic. And the thing is like, are you able to break that cycle? And yes, that's a nurture side of everything. That's a environmental side of everything. But then when you turn around and you go to something like my brother was a study, like a full study in Australia. It was the same as the little girl that was. If you look at the site, I can't remember her name. Her name. She's actually a nurse now. It was actually a movie about her, and basically she was a full, like, it was a kid basically hurting her whole family, and this. It wasn't the orphan. It's not the orphan one. It's the other one. She is now a nurse. She now cares for people, mind you. I can't remember her name, but she was like the greatest ever study of that. She was the youngest psychopath pretty much ever like came out with, and this. She was one of the youngest ones ever. It was the same as my brother. And the thing is, they did a massive study on her. Now, because she finally got the counselling and everything she needed, they say that it was a nature thing for her, that she was like that. And then what they did is that they nurtured her into being a caring human being. And the thing is now she's a nurse. She saves lives. She still works as a nurse till this day. And like, there are like actual videos of her, and you look at her and she just says it so nonchalantly. She's like, oh no, I wanna unalive my daddy and mummy. I want to unalive my little brother. Like, she says it so nonchalantly, like it's just like, oh yeah, that's just go away, Christmas beetle, fucker. You're getting attacked. But the thing is, right, is that you look at it and you go, oh geez, like that's pretty heavy, and you go, how does that work? But then they got her into being a nurse, and now she wanted to unalive people, and now she wants to actually save people. There's a nurture argument. It just depends on where you come from, because some people can be born with just a little bit of a loose screw, but is it, as I said, is it nature from the womb, which is a big thing. But
Mm.
I
Well,
think
sorry, you go, Vanessa.
oh, sorry, Lenore. I was about to say, I guess it also depends on the kind of interest a person has, right? If you're interested in cooking, you would have that internal drive to learn how to cook and learn how to do things. We were born to learn, I guess, how you put it, Lenore.
Yeah, we are. From the moment we are born, we're constantly, our brains develop. We're learning how to do things, even if it's sucking on like the bottle or mum's boob or whatever. We're constantly learning from. And is it what is the ages that we consume the most like stuff as a child? Is it from the age of 4 to 7 or 4 to 9? What does
no,
anybody know the age?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah,
it's
where we consume the most.
it's
So if you're going to
3 to
learn
7.
something, yeah, is it 3 to 7?
It's 3 to 7, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep.
But can I say something like next to the nature versus nurture? So I have a sister who's only 18 months younger than me. We were
Yep.
brought up in exactly the same environment. This is what I mean. Like, okay, she took the good road, I took the bad road. I've done jail, I've done drugs, I've done all that kind of stuff. With my sister, she excelled in school, and now she's an international airline hostess. It wasn't until later on down the track in adulthood, after doing jail and that I actually met somebody who taught me how to be a decent human being. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
is it like something that I had to learn to do even as an adult?
Yep.
Do you
Can
get me? Like I had to learn
Yes.
as an adult because I wasn't taught didn't take it on board when I was younger. So is it like I said? But can I say something? I believe, and I strongly, I've never looked this up actually, but do you believe being bad is in your DNA?
100%.
No.
It can
100%.
potentially. Can potentially.
It's been proven.
Because like so I for myself, like my dad, I'll use my friend. Okay, her mum was it was a stiff, like a straight, straighty 180. Okay, and she grew up without her dad, who was a bikie, and but she always was bad. Always wanted to be bad, but she excelled in schools. And then when she met her father, but she always had that in her blood. She wanted to be bad. Is it in the? I believe it's in our DNA. Like we carry that gene. We don't even have to be brought up around it, but because it's in our genes, in our DNA, that's why we become. Are we taught that, or is it like I said, it's in our makeup?
Hey guys, I've got to jump, but I'm just going to jump. I'm going to make a phone call.
Oh,
Are you coming
good.
back?
Thank you.
Yeah. No
I
worries.
might come back. It depends on how this phone call goes.
Okay. What do you believe, Ray?
I don't
Thank
believe
you.
that.
Thank you for joining,
You don't
Daniel.
believe it's in your DNA?
No. Well,
Have a good night.
like I was saying before, I come from a grief counseling background,
I'll just wait to answer
and
this question
a
after.
lot of things that have been proven through tests and studies, I'm the opposite of. Like, I prove the opposite with my life. So my own personal experiences go against what's scientifically proven as correct in some cases. So I think like it all comes down to like everyone has a tendency to be good or bad. Your environment, the people you surround yourself with, like everything to do, every aspect of your life plays a part. But is anyone inherently bad? No. I mean, like you grab like two kids and put them together, they will act like they're each other's best friends, even though they've only first met.
Mm-hmm.
That tendency changes once they start learning shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then so what they found, right? So I can't remember the exact book I was reading about it, but what they found, right, was everyone, it's exactly the tendency. So everyone has the bad, there is actually there is a gene that it comes from your father. Like, it depends on who like, so with my dad, both my parents were really, really bad people. Both my parents were really, really bad people. Dad was really, really horrible person. The thing is that I'm not like my dad. I'm not like my dad. Um, my dad was like, I don't
Okay,
see the point of
Daniel.
hitting women. I don't see the point of looking at women as they're an animal. I don't look at women like that. So I agree with Ray on that thing. But everyone has a tendency. But what they proved is there's a gene that splits somewhere in the brain, and then what happens is it rewires, and then because of the gene splitting, what will happen is that it will cause a bigger anger. I can't remember what the actual part of the brain is called, but it's the part that produces anger. And
Oh, the amygdala?
yeah, that's
Oh,
it. Yeah.
amygdala, yeah.
So when they looked at psychopaths, and when they looked at people that had parents that were that, they'd scan the parents' brain, and then they scan the kid's brain. They found that it actually got bigger over generations. So
Mm-hmm.
my dad was inherently an asshole. He actually had they actually did a study on his brain because of like how bad he was in jail, and the family signed off on it. The thing is they did a study on me years later, because when I found out, now mine's the exact same as my dad's, but when they did a study on all of us kids, my brother's was the same in proportion size to my dad's. My other
Mm-hmm.
brother's was nothing, and mine was nothing. Then my brother got diagnosed a couple of years later, and it only grew a little bit. Mine is now, at my age, is the exact same size as my dad's, but I'm nowhere as bad as him. So the thing is that you are born with traits, and you are born with stuff from your parents, but no, you're not inherently, it's not in your DNA,
Mm.
because you can always change your destiny, because it doesn't make you a bad
Like,
person.
exactly.
Yeah, 100,
And I think like you
100%.
summed it up perfectly.
I got
Everyone's
it.
born with that trait. Whether you use it or not is up to the person.
Exactly. Hey, I've got to jump now for this. Like, I just wanted to answer a question, but now I've got to jump. I might
All
be
good.
back. Bye bye bye.
All right, bye bye. Brady, can you come up in the box, please? What do you think about the quote? Okay. All right, start your live and then I'll join. Ray, thank you for joining. What do you think? So, with the whole nature versus nurture thing, what do you think that you gain like your personality qualities from your parents, or do you
I've got a
uh,
clue. I actually
or do you develop them over time?
a bit of both. Like my empathetic side definitely comes from my mother.
You're
My
sorry?
father, like my empathetic and
Okay,
caring
yep.
side, definitely comes from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked up anything from my father, I would be the most toxic person in existence. So it's like it's a yes and no. Like it's a great answer. Yeah, like because there's so many contributing factors that go into it. Like
Yeah.
it's like you take like with my father, great provider and knows how to take care of his family.
Mm-hmm.
On a more personal side, couldn't communicate to save his life. Most toxic, probably verbally abusive person I've ever met, and
Yeah.
incredibly racist. So it's like not completely bad,
I
but
do
far
think
from good kind of thing. Like so it's like yeah, it's not an easy answer.
for me, I do have the empathy of my mother's. How can I explain this? I do have the empathy from my mother's mother. Like, I really do have the empathy and compassion from my grandmother. Is it nature or nurture. I'm not too sure, but perhaps nurture, maybe even. But I do have personality traits from, I guess, not only just my mother, but like her father also.
Yeah,
And I think that that comes into play into the nature versus nurture argument as well.
yeah, definitely. The thing like with
Mhm.
like say the whole skills and things you need to know
Mhm.
as far as becoming a man. You know, like
Yep.
the respect and all of that sort of stuff towards females and all of that. I learned that from my mother's brothers.
Okay. Yep.
Like with on my father's side,
Mhm.
his brothers were all bikies.
Yep.
So you can imagine the level of respect they had for females.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Then like
Would anyone else like to come up to the box and have a say in this?
with my mother's brothers, pretty much from the time we could talk, they raised us on three values: protect, provide, and preserve. You protect your females, you provide for your family, and you preserve your culture. Everything outside of that is a bonus and
Mhm.
doesn't deserve your stress. And they were quite militant in making sure that we applied that as like young boys growing up.
100%. Jazzy, would you like to have a say in this topic? I would also like to clarify for the fifth time tonight that it's not a it's not a fetus kind of conversation. It is a nature versus nurture in terms of personality. Would anyone else like to have a say in this conversation?
Jump up, Caitlin, and say your opinion.
Okay. These people are awfully quiet.
But, like, when I was doing like my social work and stuff, I used to make
Mhm.
so much waves.
Hi Shane,
It's
welcome.
Hey.
hey Shane,
Hello.
How you going, mate?
Yeah. I'm
Hey,
good.
Vanessa.
Hello. Any thoughts on the quote?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. So this is based on personality, and if a person is born human, but they develop certain traits either in the womb or either in by nurture. Sorry.
So I guess you'll get some kind of traits from your parents, don't you?
Yeah.
Not all, but there's always a few, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. So the discussion that we were having before is Daniel brought up, I think some people gotta learn to break the cycle. That's what I did. Of course. Sometimes it's an environmental thing on how someone is raised. But also, as Daniel mentioned earlier, that it could have also been developed from the womb. I don't know why I say womb funny, just please bear with me. Certain traits we do pick up from our parents and possibly even our grandparents. But then again, it's a really hard topic to. Welcome, Caitlin.
Speaking, I don't have long, but speaking on the womb situation, you're correct on that. because the child can feel everything that you can
Yes.
feel, and they pick up on your emotions. And then once they're born, you can sometimes see their emotions. Some kids don't pick up on it as much; they don't come out. So for my first, I was very sad and upset and everything like that. When my daughter came out, though, she was very happy. So
Okay.
some babies can pick up on it, some babies can't. But then also talking about the cycle breaking, alcoholism runs in my family, and I'm the one that broke that cycle. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything like that because I wanted to
Well
break the
done.
cycle from
Well done for breaking the
making,
cycle.
like I used to be heavy on drinking and stuff like that, but I learned to break that cycle because I didn't want to be how my parents were being,
And be
and then
take
they
bad
learned to break that
influence
cycle.
on your child. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want my kids to be able to be raised their own way so they have their own feelings and emotions, but they can also express those feelings and emotions without being sort of shut down in a way and made to be feel like an odd one out.
100%. 100%. I know. I'm a firm believer that we do pick up traits from both our parents as well. I'm born to a single mother, so I can't really comment too much on my father, but I do know I'm quite stubborn like my mother, but I'm also very empathetic and a very compassionate person as well. Hi, Christian. I hope you're well.
That was just my opinion on babies because obviously I'm a mum of that.
Oh, yeah, and you're pregnant as well.
Yeah, and I got a
Definitely
lot
true.
of emotions.
You definitely chose a good topic to bring up because it's such a vast grey area in the middle.
That's why I'll only comment on certain situations unless I've truly educated myself on a certain topic. And that's why I'll only say what I just said there because I don't know about the
Yeah.
rest. Because I feel like I'm not educated enough to give more of an opinion. You know,
Yep.
I like to be educated unless, you know.
This is more just so having a discussion about nature versus nurture. I'm just asking people's just thoughts about, this particular topic.
Other
And
than
I
that,
think with the people that we've had talking about it so far, like it stayed civilized, like an actual adult conversation to where
Yes.
you can just say like your opinion,
Yeah.
whether you know or you don't know. Just sharing your opinion's not going to get taken out of context or taken the wrong way. I think that makes a huge difference with topics like this.
100%. I will ask, if I download this recording, is it possible if I can post this up to my YouTube channel? Is everyone okay with whoever just came up and spoke? Are you okay with me posting this up on my YouTube page?
Of course.
For
Caitlin? No, she's not here.
if you monetize it, I want a lollipop.
Of course. Of course.
It would have been like
Okay.
clearly brought up the topic as a way of sort of like
No, because
getting people's opinions and
Yeah.
maybe like a little bit of education and stuff. So
yeah.
it makes sense that you follow that on and share it on to other people that aren't here.
Yeah. I want to start doing these particular
Podcast.
topics, like something about psychology. I think it's more just to learn, just to perhaps even educate people as well. That's why I'm going around asking permission to post this up on YouTube, because I think this discussion could potentially either educate or even have some sort of discussions really on like outside platforms as well.
I mean, like some of the topics that you've brought up and the different conversations that I've had with you and other boxes and stuff,
Yeah.
you got like a long list of podcast episodes just waiting.
Yeah.
You know,
Who
from
knows?
like all the, like with your writing
Yes. Yes.
and like your passion for like the crime and all
Yeah.
of that sort of stuff. You know, that's a vast library of topics waiting to
Mhm.
put out and put to a forum of random people to get their opinions,
Yeah.
and then
Of
like
course.
stuff like this. So
Yep.
yeah, you definitely got to be busy.
Awesome. Of course.
Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
Good.
That's good. What do you think about the quote on my screen?
I think we should get all niggers and immigrants out of our country
No,
and burn them
no,
and hang
no,
them.
no, no, no. You're not. Get lost. What a prick.
What a tosser.
Hi, Sienna. Hope you're well. So yeah, I think this will conclude my, I guess, live. If you'd like to follow me on YouTube, hi Sienna. It's at Vanessa Romanov Writer, and yeah, it's just one of many, I guess. I hope I did well.
I did
I
good.
use it.
All right. Well, thank you,
Like
everyone.
a refreshing change to what normally takes place in boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to do something different. 10 out of 10. Thank you. Who knows? Maybe I'll find another quote, I guess, and then we can go from there.
I'm sure you have many.
Oh, believe me, like all of my books, most of my books at least, have at least like 5 quotes.
There you go. You got a nice long list. Maybe look at doing this as a weekly thing to start off, or you
Maybe
know,
even a daily thing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but hopefully, it goes well. But thank you guys for
Yeah.
joining. I hope you
No
guys have
worries.
an incredible night.
Yeah, same to you.
See you, Vanessa.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.